So I've never done a manga chapter review ever. I've been going hardcore on manga for the last couple of weeks, and I've caught up fully on Attack on Titan, and just read chapter 137 after binging through the entire manga within literally 2 to 3 days, and everything up to this chapter for me personally was hype until we got here. I really feel like this chapter was a letdown, and I'm gonna dive into why. So at this point in the chapter, you've already got the rumbling that has been activated by Eren Yeager, and you've got the remaining characters that are still alive trying to stop Eren. And one of the things that I really didn't like so much in the last couple chapters was the whole thing with Mikasa constantly having this back and forth tug of war of, I just want to be with Eren. I want to share his burden. Like, bitch, come on now. You're being annoying. Like, you're being fucking annoying. Like, literally, this guy has killed kids. Like, the devastation. And here's the thing. I've seen some people talk about how tragic of a character Eren is and all this and that, and okay, there's some truth to that. He is a bit of a tragic character, but there is no going back for Eren Yeager after what he's done. Like, literally, I don't know how he's gonna go back. I don't know how anyone's gonna feel sympathy for Eren with the things that he's committed, the atrocities he's committed with, like killing kids, killing whole families. Is basically Eren's plan is to genocide the world so that Paradise Island can continue going on without, persecution from the entire world. He basically did, if you're familiar with Tekken 6, he did what Jin Kazama did and basically declared war on the world, because I guess he figured that that was the best course of action. So catching you guys a little bit up to speed, his brother Zeke Yeager actually had a plan as well, which was to basically sterilize all of the Eldians so that they can't have kids and will just die off, and they'll be spared, further persecution from the world, because every race on the planet hates them, right? They just specifically, they call them the devils of paradise and this and the third. And so I look at it and I'm like, okay, you've got two extremes, right? You've got two different extremes between the two Yeager brothers. You've got Zeke's, basically chop your balls off, you're not having kids anymore. And then Eren's like, just, let's just go nuclear and just get rid of everybody. And the approach is just, they're both terrible. And one of the things with Attack on Titan is there's really not any, or hardly any decent characters. Like, hardly anyone is a decent person at all. Like, people in the wall are just as fucked up as people outside of the walls and, outside of Paradise Island. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, getting back to the point of this chapter. So chapter 137, it kicks off with, if we go here, basically it goes into going over, how life came to be on the planet. And you go over a lot of things. It shows this little thing here, which is, I believe, the founding Titan. If you really want to categorize what it is the thing that got attached to Ymir when she was, she fell down a tree trunk and she was basically dying. So she got basically attached to this thing. So you're basically going to see Armin over here talking to Zeke and just trying to understand what the purpose of life is, as Zeke is over here building fucking sandcastles. It's really an interesting thing, because if you look about it, it's something that it's question, what is life? What is the purpose of life? Why are we here? Are we here just to multiply, procreate? And if so, what is the end result? What are we working towards? And so it's a very valid question. So you have Zeke, who's just constantly, he's in a point of self-pity and doubt and basically feeling like, yeah, it's over. I give up. There's no point. I'm just going to keep going on and on. Then you see, as I was talking about earlier, Ymir being attached by this founding Titan, which kind of looks like a bit of an amoeba, if I'm being correct. It attaches to her, which is interesting. And then that allows her to continue, creating the Titans that you see throughout the series. And it goes on. Basically, Eren was able to connect with Ymir because he understood her. He understood her loneliness. And, you know, going forward throughout this whole chapter, we get over here, you know, there's a lot of reflection and dialogue between Zeke and Armin. And then you get back to the action, and then you're seeing everybody here. Everybody is getting wrecked. Pick gets her arm bit off, but she's like, I just need to regenerate my arm, and then I'm back at it. Then you see, you know, Connie gets knocked out. You got like Reiner and Annie just getting wrecked. Annie lost her arm. Reiner got knocked the fuck out. And then with all hope feeling like it's lost, then you have a scene where basically Bertolt and the other Titans come back. And here is where I have issue with this chapter. You even have Ymir, like not Ymir like the original founding Titan, but like Ymir that died, who was like Historia's best friend. So with the context in the way that the story has been going, you know, all the way up to 136 was there's no happy ending, and you never want to get attached to anyone because you never know who's going to die. And usually when people die, they die in very gruesome ways, or they go out like a hero. They go out like a boss. For whatever reason, Armin and Zeke are able to wake the consciousness of all the previous Titans that have ever lived, from Ymir, Bertolt, Porco, and, you know, more. They all come back, including Grisha Jaeger. And they come back and they help out the crew. And I'm over here reading this after all the gruesomeness that has gone on. And I'm like, this is the direction we're going? We're just going to bring everybody back like this is a Power Rangers like 10th anniversary Red Forever Red type of episode? We're bringing everybody back. That's what we're doing. I just didn't like this. I really didn't like this. Like, I would have preferred if the way this would have went, that, you know, Levi would have came through the clutch and gotten Armin out of that cow's mouth, this thing here that you're seeing here. I wish he could have gotten him out of his mouth, and then he would have, you know, died a hero. And then Armin could have activated the Colossal Titan and then exploded and took out everyone. You know, there basically would have been a final confrontation between him and Eren. But no, they had to bring everybody back to help him out. And then one of the other things that's really just interesting, Zeke comes back. So he says, you wanted to meet me, didn't you, Levi? Can't say I wanted to do the same. Then Zeke, fucking Levi just goes in his, he goes in his like, I'm insane, I'm gonna kill you mode. And you see here how everyone's brought back and they're talking to all the original Titans. And Armin and Zeke ask for the lending of strength. So here, and this erection-like stance that Zeke is, he comes back, talks about how beautiful the day is, and then next thing you know, Levi goes and chops his head off, and I'm like, okay. But I get it, by killing Zeke, who is of royal bloodline, you stop the rumbling from happening, which is what happens next. The rumbling stops. So following all that, the next thing you have happen is the Titans are working together to basically protect Reiner and Annie, and they're basically, you've got Jean, who goes on to detonate the explosives that are around the nape of Eren's head. By detonating it, then, you know, his head falls off, and then you'll see as his head is falling down, the founding Titan, this life or whatever this thing is going after Eren's head again. And so what happens next is Reiner grabs it, falls to the ground, to keep it from connecting to Eren's head. And then you've got Armin, who is going to set off the Colossal Titan. And everyone, all the other folks are like, this is the goodbye part, right? So at this point, Armin sets off the Colossal Titan, which effectively, I guess you could say, kills Eren. Kills. We don't know yet if Eren's actually dead. I actually don't think he's dead yet. But I just feel like this could have gone a more tragic route. I would have preferred it to keep, for consistency and tonality, to stay being tragic. It's kind of hoping somebody would die here from the main cast, Levi, or maybe Gabby, or, Reiner, because we all know Reiner was looking to die. But no, it didn't go out like that. So we got to wait till chapter 138 to see what happens next. I am not really, one of the most annoying characters thus far has been Mikasa. I'm not a fan of her and this constant, incessant, I need to be with Eren. I understand this due because of the Ackerman bloodline. It's just, please give this bitch some depth. She is basic bitch Betty throughout. God, she's annoying. Anyway, so the direction I think this is going to go, going forward, we know Historia is pregnant. She's giving birth at this very moment of Eren's death. And I feel like Ymir is going to incarnate herself into that baby and possibly be able to live the life that she never had and be loved. Although I do also think that the curse of the Titans is not going to go away. And I think with how this is, with the time loops and the things that the attack Titan or the assault Titan is able to do with looking into the future and into the past and all that, and manipulating time, I think this is going to go into another cyclical loop. And maybe something down the road is also going to happen. So that's kind of how I see that playing out. I do think it's very interesting how the themes of, racism, how it's handled, and how we shouldn't judge people. There's a lot of social commentary with how Attack on Titan is written, like how we're indoctrinated from youth to believe one thing or another about people, about ourselves, about life, about our environment. And coming to find out that that which we think is reality, or that which we think that we should be going for, or that we think we want, may not end up being that. Case in point, looking at Eren, he wanted freedom. And from start to where it is now, he's willing to do anything for freedom. We knew from the beginning how fucked up of a character Eren was. Well, no, we knew he was fucked up. I don't think we knew he was this genocidal, to be honest. So you look at how he was like, I just need to get outside these walls. And then he got outside the walls. It wasn't what he thought it was. Then he's like, I just need to get to the ocean. It wasn't what he thought it was. I need to get across the ocean. I need to explore and see what it's like. And then he got across and he saw that nothing that he thought he wanted turned out to be exactly what he thought it was. And I think that speaks to a lot, and that's social commentary. That's commentary on how a lot of us are. We think we want something and it turns out not to be that. And you look at how Eren, to get to the point of thinking that genocide of all people on the planet, except for those on Paradise Island, was justified, was because he saw so much of the racism, the hostility, the anger, the bickering, and how he saw how people were treated. The thing that's messed up is how he saw that and the very people that he sought, you know, the Eldians at one point he was trying to save the Eldians, he ends up killing. Like, there's a point, I want to say chapter 136 or 135, where Eren is actually having a mental breakdown where he's apologizing to children he's effectively going to kill. And you're seeing how this inner dialogue, this inner monologue that he's got going, where he's just trying to justify to himself the actions that he's taking. And it's just like, this guy is just not redeemable. Like, I don't understand. And that's why I'm looking at my criticisms of Mikasa. I know I'm going beyond the chapter. I'm just, you know, chopping it up with you guys at this point. But I'm looking at Mikasa as a character and trying to understand the psychology of her, because what can you still see in this bastard that has just killed millions of people? She makes a statement. She wants to shoulder the burden that he has. How do you be with someone that has committed such an atrocity? And I don't know if that's the Ackerman blood or if she just really loves him. And if it goes on to be revealed that the baby that Historia has is actually Eren's, what is it? Where does that leave Mikasa? So I don't know. That's my commentary. Chapter 137 and Attack on Titan as a whole. I know this is probably a rough type of video. This is very new style of video for me. I've never reviewed a manga chapter before, and I just wanted to do something different because I read this chapter, I felt some kind of way about it, and I just wanted to talk about it. If it's a jumbled, incoherent mess, let me know. Whatever your thoughts and theories are, let's get the conversation going down below. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, I catch y'all on the next one. This is Wow, Too Sweet, Be the Elite. Hopefully chapter 130 is better. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.